What it was like being 3 weeks at sea with no other soul around us but us three, Nora, Ilya and I, is what you witnessed in our last episode. Leaving the last bit of Europe on the 7th of December, we experienced a very hard first week with strong winds and high waves. Flying fish scared our third crew member at night, while mahi-mahis were a delicious treat when we reached the trade winds, and vegetables were slowly getting scarce on board. Accompanying dolphin schools and birds circling Thula before Christmas that we spent around 600 miles off the coast of Barbados gave us the hint that we were slowly approaching land. With a few layers of salt crust everywhere on and inside the boat, we reached our goal with the captain recovering from his bad spinnaker beam knockout on the foredeck on the 30th of December 2019. After a so relaxing long and not shaky night of sleep, with no one having to get up for shifts, the last dried flying fish were removed in the morning and we found a surprise in the cockpit.
What a nice treat, Ilya, huh?
Nice treat. Ramsalt was here and brought us some yogurt and fresh bread. We haven't seen bread. No, we have seen bread because Noah was the last week our cooking master and she made some wonderful bread. But this is very nice and very kind of our new friends from Norway.
Some rolls and yogurt.
Yogurt.
Nice.
Oh man.
We had a short stroll into town to find some fresh vegetables and fruits, and then it was time to say goodbye to 2019.
Også med stolthed for det sammenhold og den offervilje, som viste, hvad vi i Danmark er i stand til. Vi skal stadig stå på vagt for de værdier, vi kæmpede for.
On Sirius, a Danish boat anchored next to us, we first listened to the Queen's speech, which is obligatory for all Danes, making bets on what the Queen wears, for example, where the flowers are positioned, and so on. A fun activity listening to some of her wise words.
Antisemitisme, intolerance og undertrykkelse af anderledes tænkende.
New Year's Eve we spent on the Norwegian sailboat Ramsalt, where we of course tried some rum in very good company, learned some Swedish drinking songs from the boys from Betty, and later at night watched some fireworks, seeing Thula in the far distance. During these 45 minutes we were not in the cockpit, someone decided to say farewell to us, having been a loyal friend for quite some time. When saying goodnight to everyone, we realized with a huge shock that our little dinghy, including our outboard engine, which was parked next to the other 4 dinghies, was gone. Our dinghy is our most important companion, getting us ashore everywhere. Raven and Maria from Ramsalt instantly started scanning the area behind the boats, keeping in mind the direction of the current. But there was no moonlight, nothing to see, and the wind was going offshore. Nonetheless, we hoisted Thula's anchor and spent 2 hours searching the surrounding area in pitch black night. Meanwhile, the wind had shifted directions. Via VHF, we contacted the port authorities. No dinghy seen. We re-anchored to hoist the anchor again as the sun rose to do the same scanning procedure one more time. No dinghy. We were devastated, really under shock, as we had a very special connection to our little precious dinghy. Ilya was still recovering from his head injury, and so we just decided to take things slow. What else should we do now? We tried social media as a platform for searching, but in our hearts had already said farewell. The next days, still in shock and filled with sadness. Michael from Sirius took us ashore to find a place to wash all our salty and dirty clothes. You would think such a place is easy to find on an island's capital. Not really.
So looking pretty today, Ilya. Can I have a look? Hello, Ilya. Want to have a look at me? To see all your pretty shadows of the rainbow. But it's slowly getting better.
We had to take a taxi out of Bridgetown to be successful. Weighing our clothes, 15 kilograms, we were offered to get everything done for 120 euros. For what? Were they kidding us? What would they do to our clothes, making a washing worth 120 euros? We carried everything back to Thula and then went back to hand wash to at least let it smell clean again. We decided to leave this anchorage of bad memories to head further north together with the Danish boat Sirius, who had offered to tender us ashore as long as we were together. So kind. Before we left, we did a short fresh grocery supply in Bridgetown on the local market, and then off we went.
Hey, Pirate Ilya. Wow, what a beautiful eye. Nice. It has all gone down a little bit, huh? From far you really look like a pirate. Let's see what's going to happen the following days. And it seems like you're also behaving like one.
On our way, for the first time, we tried out wakeboarding behind Thula, also testing our engine a bit. Unbelievable, it worked. It was in Port St. Charles that we also met Imke and Raphael with their yacht from Kiel, who, when heard what had happened, offered us their spare dinghy until we returned back home. We were speechless.
Good speed.
Remember, it's 3 knots max.
Here we experience one more time how helpful the sailors community is if you are in trouble. Helping one another and contributing whatever you can is what is most important in life, isn't it? So we did our best with repairing Danish Captain Rasmus' stand-up paddling board, which had a leak, and baked some good morning cinnamon rolls for Imke and Raphael.
here you really have the feeling of yeah, having arrived at a beautiful spot. Not many tourists around, some surfers as you can see behind me with the nice coast, and we're just enjoying the views. This coastline is much rougher than the west coast. If I turn around the camera, that's where we came from, the vast Atlantic Ocean, which is actually pretty calm today. All the rocks here, they are made of coral. This is one of the only islands that is not of volcanic origin, and yeah, that's why everything here is coral based. When you go through the island through rocks with the buses, you can see that from the side that the stones have a very airy structure, you could say. Yeah. It is absolutely gorgeous and a must go, I would say.
We had a great day, and Nico?
Yeah.
Yeah, him and I and Ilya, we went spearfishing.
What?
Yeah, and we dragged up the lobster cake.
So we are here in Oistins, in the southern part of Barbados. Decided to take a tour down with the bus. Took us around 1.5 hours in a very noisy, loud bus. And today we have Ilya and Nico with us. Nico, he just went into the water. He's an excellent free diver. Yesterday, Ilya saw that there was a huge lobster cage below Thula. And the boys, they actually then caught some fish and put it down in the lobster cage. And this morning we found a moraine inside, so it's stuck in there. But not only that, the boys also found not far from our boat is a wreck, and he's just over there snorkeling. He actually was able to free dive 15 meters and have a look at the wreck, which was pretty amazing. And now you can see he's underwater again. So let's see what he found now.
In this Caribbean paradise, we unfortunately also found tons of this, despite the signs on the street.
So Ilya, what's happening?
This is the way to hang loose. First kiteboarding session on Caribbean island. The wind, shitty.
Ilya, turn around please.
The spot, shitty, but I'm still hot to go out.
Okay.
Hot like French fries. Pet.
What?
Pet.
Ilya made it on the board after all, but we had to pick him up as there was just not enough wind, despite he was so hot for surfing. The southern tip of Barbados was just too far away to go with all our kite stuff. It was also in this bay that we met P Waka Waka and her crew, who invited us over.
The waterfalls with you, a brown-eyed girl.
We enjoyed our time in Port St. Charles with its lovely people so much, we decided for this.
Bacchus, this is Thula. Are you ready?
Are we ready? Ooh, I will speak to the crew. Are you guys hitting ashore now?
So we invited the Kiwis and the Danish people for a game of coop, and it's really nice because you can make a barn fire at this beach, which we're going to do now. My job was to find a coconut for the top part of the barn fire, which we're going to start now.
New Zealand always loves a comeback though, so we're having round 2 very shortly.
Have you ever used Doritos to start a fire? What? Doritos, the corn chips. It's so good. They burn like that. Yeah. There's so much oil. Really good handful of those.
Here we go, you've got this, girl.
Yeah, it's really effective. They've spent a lot of money making it. The summer up there.
Thank you for watching and experiencing with us how hurtful it is when things you really get attached to and also depend on get lost and leave you behind, remembering the precious times you shared. If you liked the video, please subscribe on our channel. We hope you enjoyed exploring our first Caribbean island with us and are looking forward to showing you the laid-back tropical island Tobago in our next episode, In Search of a New Boat Companion. To support our journey and filming activities, please have a look at our Patreon page blended in below. Ahoy and see you next time!